So it was another rough outing for Bryce Elder. And I was looking forward to seeing what he was going to do in this matchup last night. The Arizona Diamondbacks had lost 4 games in a row as the Braves open up a series against Arizona at Truist Park. Obviously, back home, again, after the All-Star break, he's had some rest. I mean, again, they didn't have to pitch in the All-Star game. A lineup that, really isn't all that great. And they've been floundering around here of late because they were, like I said, they were on a 4-game losing streak. Offensively, they've not been a very good offense here in the last couple of weeks or what have you. And, again, I thought Elder would get himself back on track. Well, unfortunately, it was another rough outing. This time, 2 2/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned with a walk and 4 strikeouts. So, one is good that he cut down on the number of walks because remember, in the previous start against Tampa, that really hurt him where he not only gave up the 6 hits, but he also gave up the 4 walks without striking out anybody. So 3 1/3, 7 earned runs, 4 walks, and no strikeouts. So his last 2 outings, and this is concerning at this point, last 2 combined outings at Tampa, home with Arizona last night, 6 innings, 13 hits, 14 runs, 12 of them earned with 5 walks and only 4 strikeouts. Folks, that comes out to an 18 ERA. More concerning is that the 2 teams hit him at a 400 batting average clip, 419 to be exact, with a 500 on base and an 839 slugging. That's a 1,339 OPS. That is concerning. And I don't, I don't know if Strider's starting to hit a little bit of a wall. I don't know, Elder, if he's starting to hit a little bit of a wall or what have you. But this is 2 outings that really, and again, it's not just a sporadic thing where, okay, it's a bad outing, we move on, always back to pitching well. No, this is back-to-back outings where he's gotten not just kind of hit a little bit, he's been shelled. Now, again, he had been really good money-wise, again, through the month of June. 6 innings and 4 runs, in his first start in June. Then June 11th, 5 1/3, 5 earned runs. That's a little bit rough, but his last 4 starts actually going into the All-Star break against Colorado, 6 innings, a run. Against Philadelphia, 7 innings, no runs. Against the Minnesota Twins, 6 innings, 2 runs. And then the start before he went into the All-Star break, the start before the All-Star break was the Tampa Bay start. The start right before that on July 3rd was against Cleveland, 6 2/3, 2 earned runs. So he'd gotten over a little bit of a hiccup in the first couple of starts where, again, 11 1/3 innings of 9 earned runs, and then he put together 4 consecutive really good starts. About where you expect Bryce Elder to be, right? When you expect him, okay, 6 innings, 2-3 runs, we can take that, right? But these last 2 starts have reverted back to where, okay, there's some concern there. And look, when I look at this, again, right now, Max Fried is still trying to work his way back in. Soroka is still trying to get his sea legs underneath him. And we've talked about the idea that, unfortunately, and this is maybe a lot of pressure, but Elder, Strider, Morton have to be rocks. Like they have to be consistent rocks right now for this team until we get everybody back up to speed, back healthy, this, that, and the other. You can afford to have Bryce Elder not make some quality starts if you've got Fried, Wright, Soroka, whoever, and they're consistently doing their thing. Or, again, you can afford a hiccup here or there. But unfortunately, you can't afford very many hiccups right now when you don't have all of those other guys that are in this, rotation right now. And that's the thing is, again, we've seen Elder be so consistently good, but it's been a little bit of a Dow Joneser, right? First part of June was down here, come through the middle, late June, 1st of July. Okay, we're back up to where we want to be. And then the last two starts right before the break and right after the break, thump. And I know the Tampa Bay Rays are a really good offense, and they're one of the better offenses in Major League Baseball. So I can kind of give you that. But this Diamondbacks team, and again, that was a wild game last night, 16-13. That was just, again, a football game broke out at Truist Park. So I don't know how much football they play at Truist Park ever, but again, that was a football game that broke out. But it was a little bit concerning because the Diamondbacks have not been a very good offense. And and again, this is two starts in a row where he's gotten shelled. Like, he's not been kind of dinked and doinked and all this kind of stuff. I mean, again, he's given up 3 homers in his last 6 innings. Start giving up that many homers, again, you're going to put yourself behind the 8 ball. And again, he got off to a start where he gave up a couple of runs in the first inning, but as what the Braves do is they spotted him 5 runs. So again, he was down 2-0 at the top of the first. Then the Braves come to bat. They put up a 5 spot, and now all of a sudden he's got a 5-2 lead. And you would think, okay, got through a rough first inning, he would kind of settle down and work his way in, and then he got kind of shelled for it. So there is some concern about the fact that Elder has kind of a little bit on a roller coaster here. Again, I don't know if it's just too much work, too much, pressure, whatever. Whatever the reasons are, they need Bryce Elder to be that kind of guy that he was in the first half of the season. And again, when you're going multiple starts where, again, if you look at his last 8 starts, 4 have been really good, but 4 have been stinkers. And that is a little bit concerning. We're not talking about a sample size of just 1 or 2 games. We can extrapolate over an 8-game, where, again, that's going to be a quarter of your starts. For a normal Major League pitcher, that's going to be a quarter of your season in an 8-start deal. So, again, let's hope Elder can get himself on track. Hopefully gets himself worked out to whatever his issues are and gets back to being that all-star pitcher that we've had to count on because, again, we're not in a position where we can just sit around and wait for everybody to just come back and be up to speed and everything like that. All right, as you go in and make a Hittin' Hard your first listen, be sure to go in and leave us a comment about being an everyday listener to the program. I like to call them our everydayers. So whatever platform that you're listening on, leave us a comment that you're an everydayer listener to the program as you listen in 5 days a week. We do thank you so much for being a part of our growing community.